here's another reason why you want to take control of what you're doing.
Everything kind of funnels into the only winning move is not to play the game.
So I got to ask permission to buy the gun, and then I got to pay to ask permission to carry the motherfucker outside of my house. How about you go fuck yourself?
And Ken looking like an old grandpa being the Biden.
We can put people on the Snowden, the trial on the bombers. We're going to Maine. Catch up.
And we got somebody slapped the white off of Jason, so he's all nice and
damn right.
Fucking super lobster with sunglass marks.
Yeah, I got him on my arms too. So yeah,
dude, you just totally. Both me and Harkos went.
Yeah, as soon as he popped up, I'm like, whoa, what the fuck?
Whoa, dude!
It's my red filter.
I thought you were riding a motorcycle all day. That's what we look like.
No, we were at.
He was riding the crazy train all day.
Oh yeah, I was doing that too. But what the hell is that place called again? We went to today?
Magic Mountain.
Chicken Murderer.
Magic Mountain. Well, that too, but
Hillbilly Express.
Yeah, no, wild
upside down
mountain,
hippopotamus.
Upside
down hippopotamus.
What?
Well, everybody, welcome to the Weather Report, episode 23, I believe. So, if you count all the bonus episodes, I think we're at 23, 22 or 20. I do, whatever, dude. Anyhow, no guests tonight, dude. No guests tonight because I just got back. Or if you've been listening to the X Spaces, you know that last week, on Monday on our weekend hangover, we talked about the Back to the 50's car show, the weekend, Back to the 50's weekend, the 50th annual Back to the 50's weekend that I went to with Ken and Jason. And man, it was freaking fantastic. So we figured we recap it today as a show. Not that we don't have any guests lined up. It's just I felt like it was something to talk about. It was something to do. I mean, the biggest highlight was meeting everybody except for Harkos, because Harkos did the responsible thing and left himself behind because he had business to take care of. And there's nothing more than I admire than a young guy like that fucking putting his fucking nose to the grindstone and hacking it out. Why? Because how old are you, Harkos?
37.
So if I was 37, when I was 37, I'd have dropped everything and forgot my rent or groceries or anything like that, and probably would have went. So, hats off that you got it going on enough to do that, man. But it was great meeting Ken and Jason for the first time, and I was taken back, to say the least. But knowing guys online for over 4 or 5 years now that we're going on to, and actually meeting for the first time was something else. And that was what.
Since Harkos wasn't here, how tall are you, Harkos?
Oh, we weren't here. I'm 6 foot tall.
You're what?
6 feet.
6 feet?
He's 6 foot nothing.
6 foot. Oh, he's an even 6, huh?
Even 6, even Steven.
Oh, I'm the runt of the group. Bruce comes walking into my place of employment, and I look over and I'm like, that looks kind of like that Bruce guy, but I don't think he's that tall.
I thought too.
I'm like, and he's like, hey, I'm like, he sounds like him too. Oh, this is crazy. Who is that guy?
Yeah, Bruce is tall. I thought
you were walking next to him like you're his toddler son or some shit.
Yeah, I'm like, Dad, can I have a Snicker bar? Because I like those. And then Jason, the Manila Gorilla, is he comes in and you haven't met Jason yet either, but he's a roomful.
He's a roomful, yeah, for sure. Yeah. He's a freaking roomful. He's like I said, he's like my buddy Nick who threw hammer for Berkeley, dude. I came in. I expect him to be shorter. I expect him to be like 5'8" or something like that. Just this big fucking knot. But no, he's fucking as tall as me and a big fucking knot, right? And I wouldn't want to get caught in between one of them biceps.
This is what it is, though. He's not a big fat shit or anything. He's like a Russian mob enforcer kind of big dude. He's just walking around and people just get the fuck out of the way, which is great because they don't know him. And if you knew Jason, you'd be like, I'm going to get in his way on purpose because I want to hear what he has to say about it. But you know, it was. We had a good time walking around. We got Bruce and I.
Awesome.
We broke down once in the old car. We got it stuck in the mud in the pouring rain. I mean, it was all the things.
You had to be there and see it to believe it, because we missed so much content. But I was thinking something.
Because why capture that? Why capture any of that?
Yeah, you should have definitely captured that, especially the stuck in the mud shit. Fuck.
We messed up.
I know we got lost in the Minnesota State Fairgrounds.
Bruce and I got lost. And,
so
I'm from Minnesota and I get lost.
Let me set the stage on this. I've been going to the same car show since 1992 was the first one. So I've been going there, 32 years. And Bruce, of course, never stepped foot in there. And I think Jason's been to the state fair and stuff there, but never been to the show. This is like 300. It's 300 acres. Yeah, it's I don't know. Would you say it's about 300 or 400 acres? Probably about 15 or 20 square blocks
like
of a city. It's a small town. It's like
city. Yeah, exactly.
And I know every in out. So there's a group that we did a little interview with Ron at North Speed and Performance, and every year I do a little pinstriping demonstration there at his booth on Saturday afternoon, just to help bring people in and get them interested. Anyway, it wasn't raining on Saturday morning all the way, and it was because it started raining about 2:30 or 3 in the afternoon. So I went to start pinstriping. I told those guys, I'm like, all right, I'm going to be painting for a little bit here. If you guys want to go walk around, and this is a good time, just go, fuck off and have some fun. See what you can capture. I said, but grab the umbrellas out of the car in case you don't miss. So as soon as you didn't hear that part. And so I got the car. Now, first of all, I'll back up even another half hour. We had the car, which was a 64 Chevy Malibu 300. It actually wasn't even a Malibu, it's just a 300. Yeah, it had. So you'd like this, had AM radio, but didn't even have the push buttons to change the channel. You had to turn the knob in one speaker, and it worked, which was great. But anyway, we pull off. I had to pull kind of through some grass and over a hill and by the bathrooms and stuff, and to get down to where this guy was, where his shop setup was. There is a little trailer, and we're driving in. Now I've driven this 100 times. And I've never had it be soft. And the ground was so saturated, just rolling through it. You could just hear it sponge. And we come around a hill just a little bit side, and the car was sliding like it was on ice. We're on wet grass and mud. It was sliding, and I'm like, okay, I'm not stopping. So I pull up about maybe next to the trailer, but it's kind of a shitbox looking car. So I didn't want to this guy builds $250,000 cars, and here's this, shitbox. So I parked kind of next to the trailer, but not up in, so it looked like someone just left the car there. And as soon as I put it in park, I felt the whole car just go like this down, like a half of an inch. And I'm like, all right, well, we're fucked here. We left, go around, we're doing the thing. Anyway, I'm pinstriping. I get to a point where I was done, happy with what we did. And there was a couple drops coming down. So we quick, put the table away, rolled the cars and stuff like that. And I called these two jokers. Hey, where are you guys? No fucking clue. I have no idea where we are. And I'm like, where are, and so they started naming off places, and I'm like, all right, by this time when we're trying to figure out where we are, the rain hit and it started coming down pretty hard. And I said, well, I'd drive down and get you, but the car's stuck because I just tried to take it out, and I put it in reverse and just let my foot off the brake, and the tires just went. I mean, it was my cousin Vinny right there. And I'm like, all right, well, I'll grab the umbrellas because I got one really big one. So I'm like, I'll grab the umbrellas. I'll walk 15 minutes away because you were about a half a mile away. And so I walked down there, and it was raining, like just a normal rainstorm.
He's downplaying it. This was
no, hold on. When I was walking down, it was just a normal rainstorm. It was raining, but when we got down to where you guys are, opened the umbrellas out, took 2 steps to walk the half a mile up the hill, through the salmon run that we had to go through. Then the rain started coming down. It was over ankle deep. And it was rushing. I mean, it was washing kids down away. I remember the screaming kids going down. Like I said, the salmon were out. There was bears on the top, just jumping at the salmon. It was really something. We get up to the car and hoping that it would stop raining, but right by now. So the guy set up. He had like a 35-foot trailer with a big awning out. So of course it's full of people there because no one wants to stand in the rain. And we're right next to it, and I just get in the car and start it up. And believe it or not, it started moving. There was enough water, and you didn't even look like you were in grass. It just looked like you were on a lake. I was like Jesus walking on water. It was the Repo Man car, so that made it a little bit eerie. If I had white lights inside, it would have been awesome. So we start rolling, and I'm 5 feet from the sidewalk, and there's a little dip where it gets muddy, and there's this old dude walking, and he's the only guy in the sidewalk. I had to go up the sidewalk and turn so I could get out to the street. And there was cars in front of me and tents and stuff, so I had to turn on the sidewalk, and I couldn't stop. And I'm going, and everybody in the tent, and then these guys are standing out next to the car getting ready to push. We're all screaming at this guy. You know, he's 10 feet away, right? You know, and I couldn't stop. I would have run him over. And he just walked and just paid no attention. I had to stop and then got stuck again. And then everyone came out and started pushing.
Buried it.
I
saw the front wheels just go about another 3 inches into the freaking grass.
I mean, they were up over the rims. I mean, they're all the way down. And then we were good and stuck. We had enough people to push it out. Everyone was laughing and joking. I mean, there's no better place to break down or get stuck than at a car show, because it's just funny.
Yes, I've never seen it rain so hard in my life. I mean,
you live in the desert.
I don't live in the desert, but I mean, this was fucking biblical fucking rain, dude.
Yeah, that's what happens. That's what happens around here, where everything is green and not brown. And I'm not talking about the people.
The ankle
part that
high.
makes it worse.
Dude,
Is
I
that
watched
so
the water
much
come
rain.
up. I just watched it come up just slowly and slowly as we're walking. It's just going slowly and slowly. All of a sudden, I was trying to keep my feet dry, and finally I just said, "Screw it! I can't keep my feet dry. I just freaking start trudging along."
Yeah, just go.
We've had so much rain this year; it's unbelievable, and there's nowhere for the water to go because the ground is so saturated with water. I mean, luckily we've had, obviously today because I look like a freaking lobster, but we've had at least a few days for it to dry, to pretend to dry out. I mean, it's not drying out because it's still saturated all hell. But yeah, I mean, it's biblical proportion. I mean, it was like we should have started building the ark with how much rain was coming down.
And then when we finally got the car out, I mean, it still rained all to be damned. Now you got 4 soaking wet dudes in there. There was puddles on the floorboards. I mean, that's how deep we were. There was puddles on the floorboards of the car.
3 guys.
You have 3 guys in the car. And, you know, a 1964 Chevelle does have a defroster. But if you don't have air conditioning, the defroster has there's no air drying. It's just blowing wet air back up on the windshield. So we're driving around, rubbing the windows like this, trying to, because we're driving on the sidewalk. So,
well, let me show the audience what we got here and what we were driving in. So here's the car that we were driving in.
There you go. That's the Fukenbrow Racing Beer 64 Malibu.
Yeah. So, somebody actually, when you were off in the bathroom, somebody said, "So what's the Fukenbrow mean?" Remember that, Bruce?
I do remember that. That was the lady or that guy. Then he says his wife was German, and that she would be able to know what Fukenbrow meant.
Right. It was it was the Horsdorf's family's beer and Stein company that moved over here after the war and started in an upper Wisconsin small town to build their beer empire up here, and it's the Fukenbrow Racing Beer because they also enjoyed racing Saabs. Apparently, was the way it is. That's all bullshit. No, this was just a completely made up.
Sounds like a sob story.
It's a Saab story. They're made from jets. No, this is just a completely. It's part of the Grundy Park group of businesses that my friend Tom, who's a lunatic, we'll have to have him on one night, has come up with big effing tools and Fukin A gasoline. And, all kinds of stuff. Swami Bob's House of Enlightenment. There's all kinds of good stuff. So this was just we wanted to make it look like a fake staff car from a fake beer company back then. So all of the artwork and stuff like that I did on top of the beat up car. And then we've left it outside for the last 15 years. So it just, you can't tell that it wasn't done in 1965. You can't tell.
Yeah.
No. And Bruce, you should go over and just mention on how Ken's like, oh yeah, I did that car.
Well, that's what I've done today. That's what I've done today. We're actually going to showcase some of the stuff that Ken has done because I was really impressed on. Well, not only does Ken know everybody at this freaking fair, just at this meet, he has done so much artwork, and we're going to go through a bunch of it. But first of all, I wanted to talk about this car again because we've already talked about some of the options that it didn't have. One thing that surprised me that it didn't have was seatbelts. So when I told my wife that I was driving down the freeway at a 75-mile-an-hour clip with no seatbelts, being in California and being used to what we were being used to.
Well, but the dash was metal, so you won't feel a thing. It'll just knock you right out.
Yeah, you have one crash. You actually have one crash, but
yeah, or you go through the windshield if you miss the dash. You just go right through it.
But we were very much primed to go to this.
That's true.
Yes,
so
we were.
We were right there.
That was a great night. That was a great night.
We were priming ourselves, and you can see Jason, right there, how he is. Look at that guy, man. That's a corn-fed Minnesota guy if I ever seen one.
Fucking Viking.
Holy shit!
And you got a parrot too.
Yeah, that shit right in my drink.
You know what? In that picture, Ken, you literally look like you're 4'5".
No, this is what it was like walking with these two fucking clowns. I mean, I'm just like,
you're like 5'8" or something, right?
So I'm like, it's like these are my big brothers. No, I'm 5'10", but these guys are way more than 5'10".
Oh, Jesus. Well, Jason's only like 6'3", and 6'2", and so I'm like, dang.
It was crazy, man. It was so fun. But yeah, we had another photo op. Where's the other photo op that I had in here?
Do we get the one where you guys had me by the arms and I was walking and you'd swing me up like a little kid? Oh,
no, we got this one. We got this one here where we took it to House of Color. This was our, we're all gay like that. We're all gay
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So House of Color, I can explain that a little. The House of Color is the oldest custom paint manufacturer in the country. Started by John Kosmosky, who was there too, and we got to talk to him, so you guys got to meet him. And
older than me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's way older than me.
That's old, man.
Yeah, dude. He's so old. He's a ghost.
And in that one picture, you could see the shirt that I did that was crooked. So I was walking around with. I actually had coupons with me. So if anybody mentioned that my shirt was crooked, I would give them a coupon for, I don't know what it was, like 15 or 20% off my website, but nobody said anything, so I didn't hand any out. But I'm gonna wear it again for the next car show, the Street Machines. Yes.
Yeah, Street Machine National's coming up in a few weeks.
Yeah, you're gonna be.
So if anybody's me going to that, and you want a discount code, just say something to me that my shirt's crooked.
So what do you mean your shirt?
I put it on, and it's like the
logo was crooked. The print was crooked. Yeah.
Yeah, but does it look like it's supposed to do that? Let me see the picture again. Does it look like it's supposed to be like that? People probably don't notice except for you because you did it. You know what I'm saying?
The problem is he walked with a lean like this so that it was stood.
Oh, you got it in on.
Oh, here it on. So let me bring him up solo here.
It is crooked.
Yeah, but the engine block is diagonal on the fucking screen, so it looks like on the print, so it looks like it's supposed to be like that.
Yeah, I messed up on it and I put it on crooked. I mean, luckily it's vinyl, so if I really want to, I could heat it up and remove it. But
the hell with that!
It is.
I think it's great. I like the idea of you're giving a discount for someone will point out a car crash.
I'm gonna keep wearing it for all the different car shows I'm going with you, Ken.
Cool. Yeah. Well, if you guys want to see anything on the car show, we actually did a page called Back to the 50's at theweatheredsoul.com. It's just sitting there scrolling at the bottom of the screen. And for you guys that are going to be listening to the audio, that's www.weatheredsoul.com/back to the 50's, all with hyphens in between the words. But yeah, it was pretty cool. And we're just going to switch in. And for you audio people, you're really missing out because we're going to be looking at some of Ken's artwork because that's kind of what I loaded up. And I was really impressed. Number one with number one. Yeah, I'm not a wallflower, so I can talk to anybody. It doesn't matter. I can walk down the street and if I see you interesting, I'm going to talk to you. And Ken is just like, Ken's the same way. He knows everybody. He introduced me to people. The second day I was there was people walking around going like, hey, how you doing? I'm going like, holy shit. These people freaking remembered me and it was freaking cool. But
it's a good crew.
It was a good crew. It was really, really fun. And I even introduced Jason to some of the people that I met on Saturday. So it was really a family event. I mean, really, I've been to a couple of events here in California that are like that. Some of the monster truck, sprint car stuff. I do the auto racing thing here in California. And it's just along the same way. I also do the drag strips and the outlaw kind of drag racing, and really kind of the same flavor that you got there. Nobody's got an attitude, and it was just great. I didn't see any kind of stress at all when I was walking around there, man. It was really, really cool. But yeah,
everyone's relaxed.
That's what it's like at like any kind of car show type of situation anywhere in the Midwest, man. It's just like you just go there and you just chill.
Yeah, well,
exactly.
I like
it is. Like it. It's the real world. It's what people that actually do things do. They go and enjoy the shit that they build.
I can't do the Noah's Ark rain or the tornadoes or anything like that, but I surely can do it.
We were hoping for a tornado. We were hoping for a tornado because you really need to see one of those. Those are spectacular.
I've been in a tornado actually. So when I lived in Texas, I've been through a couple of tornadoes. So
you've seen them.
Oh, that's I was driving. Let me see. I was driving actually a '64 Impala when a when a tornado came by, and my windows automatically fogged up while I was on the freeway, doing about 55.
Oh yeah,
and it just fogged right up, and I'm going like, okay, what next? So now what do I do? So all I did was kind of just like try to find my way to the corner, and it was horrid. But I've been through a couple of those. They're interesting to say the least.
Speaking of 64 Impalas, did you get pictures? We wanted to show this one to Carcos because we were talking about the muff diver. It was there.
I did not get any
Cheech's car was there.
I did not get any pictures of the muff diver. I think Jason did.
Jason took some pictures of it, I think. But so a guy built a replica, and it's a friend of mine, of course.
It's a pretty good replica, too.
Yeah, it's pretty good replica. They're still working on some other parts, but he's got the chain wheel. He's got the license plate. The custom plate says Muff Diver. It's got the different painted doors. It's slammed down, side pipes, air. I mean, it's just...
That's awesome.
It's
so
really
Kent introduced me to like the first car that he ever did, and I'm going to share it with you right now. And he made sure that he pointed this out. It was one of the first cars actually we looked at, but here it is, and we're going to let him tell us.
Oh, that was one of the early ones, yeah. So this was a guy that this is this dude's car, and Ole and Cheryl helped him build it, and so this is them sneaking off to the outhouse to get busy. So this is all hand painted on the back of this truck. And it's all done with one shot. I probably did this 16 years ago, so it still looks. I mean, the guy took great care of it. It still looks great.
It looks like it was painted yesterday.
And he had these figure. These were actually so the guy and the gal look kind of weird, but he had these like porcelain. Remember the 50s? They had those porcelain like just caricatures. They're about 8-10 inches tall. The people hanging on the walls, and that's what they were. So he gave me those to work from. So those are like exact like copies of those portraits, those caricatures. And he's like, "Oh, it just reminds me of Ole and Cheryl." And if you knew Ole and Cheryl, that's what they would do. I mean, they went and when their son was building a truck, they got when one of the nights when he went back to his house and it was in Ole's shop, and they got a little frisky and they ended up going at it in his truck. It's just it's good. It's good times.
Well, one thing that I didn't do when I was taking these pictures is I didn't actually get in there and find the names or the makes and the models and all these of these cars, but I did kind of give him my little pet names for it. So this is another one that we went by that he did some artwork on. I call it Surf and Safari. So we're gonna take a look at this. Ken, tell us about this.
Sure. So when I left my job as a custom painter, and I just split with the guy that was working with at his shop, I just went out on my own and just did it by myself. And so for about 2 years, all I did was I'd go to people's houses and pinstripe and letter their cars and do something like this. So this guy calls me up and says, "Man, I just got the car back from the painter, and I told him to do blue and yellow and a two-tone. I wanted something interesting. And he came up with this, and it's hideous. How can we save this? It's awful." I'm like, "Well, it's a wave. Why don't we just put surfers on the wave?" So I put a girl surfing a wave, hanging 10 on that side with a little, and then a dude on the side for where his wife sat. And then, we had some places where he buffed through. So I put a lighthouse on one side and a little tiki island, treasure hunt on the other side, covering up where where he had buffed through. And then on the back, of course, is a little surf hut. I said, well, just make a little tiki hut out of it. And I did that car in like 1998. So... And he's had that car at Indianapolis, Indiana, at the racetrack where the Street Rod Club had it there, and he had that car going 145 miles an hour on the track. It's built well, and that was Dave, and he wasn't doing too good. He had just got out of the hospital. A lot of these guys, this is the problem with Back to the 50s. A lot of these guys are in their 70s and 80s
because they bought the car whenever they were 16.
Well, no, it's just the culture of the street rodder. It didn't transfer down to the younger kids. Because the cars just got too damn expensive, I mean, 40s and 30s and 40s and 50s cars were, buying for $50 for you. You remember this, Bruce? I mean, you could buy a 37 Chevy like that ran for $100. And I'm talking in the 80s. It wasn't that long ago. Yeah. No one wanted them.
Yeah, my brother-in-law's had a 40s Buick in his freaking garage forever. He bought like for $150, something like that. Sat in his garage forever, and I think he got rid of it for about the same price.
Yep.
Just to get it out of his garage because he wasn't doing anything with it, and who knows where it is now. But it was a cool car. But I sat there and cried at most of the cars that I saw that I actually had, and either left on the side of the road for dead or got rid of. Just absolutely cried. Just.
Well, Bruce got to experience what rust was. He went driving. I pointed out when a Suburban drove by, and there was a pickup truck with the back bumper had big rust holes in the bumper. I'm like, it's a steel thick bumper, and it just gone. We all know what it looks like.
Yeah.
He's like, how do you even? I'm like, there's no inspections. There's no nothing out here. It's just you drive it till you put it in the ditch. When it's done, get another one.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and see, the thing is too is like, okay, you got rust in your car. Okay, how was that not passing inspection?
Because of CO2. In Massachusetts, they had an inspection. If you had a rust hole in front of your rear wheels, bigger than the size of a quarter, you had to have it fixed. So everything out there, nothing looks like it's rusty. It's all Bondo. They didn't say how to fix it. They just had to fix it.
When you see a car going down the road and the body is like tweaked like this, and it's going down, something's going on.
No, it's okay. They just got heavy person on one side.
Well, that's how you know what cars really last. That's why I brought that Suburban up from Arizona, because what did you see out here? Chevy trucks in the early 2000s everywhere, just rotten, flapping doors.
Just eating up, man. It was crazy. I mean, you still get a little rust out here on the West Coast because, of course, on the coast you got the salt here and stuff like that. But
but it's nothing like they put salt on the roads that has molasses in it. All right, it's got molasses and the salt, so it sticks to the road.
Molasses in it?
Yeah, and so it sticks to the road.
They pre-treat it.
Also sticks to your car too. Yeah. Oh, and before a snowstorm, they go through with a salt brine and spray the roads. And so then whenever it's snowing or whatever, you put the molasses down because then it sticks more, but then it sticks to your car too.
I don't get it. Harkos, I can get where you live and your age. Jason, I can get where you live and your age. But Ken, you're in the
company's here.
You're in the witness protection program, brother. I know it because you've got the town car, you've got a tiki bar.
Yeah, but see, they have a whole city inside of a dome in Minneapolis called Mall of America. So
that's true.
You don't have to worry about always having sunny. You can go in a wave pool on New Year's Day if you want to. It's perfect.
That's true.
Yeah.
That place is overcrowded, so I stay away from it.
There's
town about 3,000 people. I'm going.
I got a nice small little town.
Yeah. He's like, okay, don't worry, Bruce. I've got you on the list now.
Yeah, exactly.
No, Ken and his wife are freaking super, man. I love both of them.
They are.
It was really fucking cool being at
we had
their
a
house.
good time.
Yeah, we did. One thing that I saw, one thing that standed out because my wife, she doesn't drive. She's never she drove when she was a teenager or something like that, and then she got scared. She don't drive anymore, but she loves Volkswagens. So I saw the Volkswagen that I'm going to get for her, and this is the one here. Look at this. You won't believe it. They stuffed a freaking V8 in a freaking Volkswagen.
Is it a 350? What kind of V8?
It's a two-port injected 350 in the front of this Volkswagen. And Bruce, you were mentioning you thought it was widened. It's not. That
looks like the engine in my truck.
My wife said that it was longer than a VW, and I go like, I don't think so. If anything,
they fit in there.
So they fit in there on the frame.
Well, there is no frame. He made a frame, so that one has
he had to make a
chassis underneath it,
support structure for it. But this thing was crazy, dude. Oh my god. I mean, I didn't hear it fire up, and I didn't see it. I didn't see it roll or anything. But man, this thing's just got to be.
So that motor is out of like an '88 Corvette. So it's like an '88 Corvette, and it has a TPIS injection system on the top, which is a local guy in Minnesota. Import injection specialist. He was the nationwide guy that would tune those things. So it's probably putting out 430 horsepower if it's one of his motors. It looks like it is.
I couldn't imagine how freaking fast that thing is, being the weight. I mean, all the weight is the engine, pretty much. I mean,
yeah.
Volkswagens do not weigh anything, man.
Is that a front wheel drive still, or did they make it rear wheel?
Oh, they were always rear wheel.
Oh, never mind.
The newer ones are front wheel drive. Those are the gay ones.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I just figured cars front wheel drive. So,
So the official count for how many cars were there was 11,345.
Woo, man! Inside the fairgrounds, right?
Yep.
11,345.
All the cars that entered in were 11,345.
Dude, that is a huge show. And really, I apologize to all the, if there's any manufacturers or car builders that I talked to there, and I kind of ripped them about Good Guys and stuff like that, because a lot of them go to the Good Guys car shows, but but I've never seen, they don't have 11,000 cars here in California, not in Pleasanton. And Pleasanton is the biggest Good Guys car show here in California. They don't have 11,000 hot rods. Not at all.
Most areas.
Regulations.
Well, most areas in the United States, what people would consider a big car show is about 1,200 cars, and that's like, oh my God, that's a big show in town. That's really big. This is 10 times.
This was a massive show.
They also said that from the post that I saw that the number was down because of the weather.
Yeah.
There would have been more cars there if the weather wasn't the way that it was. So if
you probably had a bunch of like convertibles and shit. Yeah.
Well, they were still there, a lot of them. I mean, there's a lot of people covered up and soaking wet.
Would have shown up.
Yeah.
More
probably would have
13,000 if it
13,000.
wasn't so wet.
Yeah, somebody's got scratchy
easily.
mic. Somebody might want to check their connections, but somebody's got scratchy mic.
Yeah, who's got scratchy mic? Is that me?
Is it me?
I think so.
Yeah, somebody's got a bad pot or something. Anyway, we're going to keep going on. So, one thing that Ken showed me that you wouldn't really find artwork inside of an engine compartment, but Ken managed to do it. He actually see that M down there.
Yeah, on the block,
on
the valve cover.
Is that freaking that dude? What impresses me about Ken's work, dude, is that he can put it anywhere, and when you look at it, it looks like it fucking belongs there. Or it looks like it's always been there, dude.
That was for you, Chris. You're welcome.
It was
I was
awesome.
gonna say something close to that, but I didn't really have an opportunity. So,
but check that out. This is
I like that intake. That shit's cool. It looks like a teardrop.
Yeah, isn't that cool? And it's a V6.
This is part of this Nash, right?
Isn't that cool
Did I
car?
get it right?
Yep.
Is that a Nash?
It is a Nash.
Yeah, I call it the Nasty Nash. That's what I called it, is Nasty Nash. And this was another one of my favorite cars. I actually put pictures of my favorite freaking rides that I saw there. But yeah, tell us about that little endeavor.
So that's a Nash Metropolitan, and my friend Troy built the car for his mom actually, and ground up. It's a full frame underneath. He built a full custom racing frame for it. It's an airbag, so you can slam it down. It's a 4.3 V6 out of like a minivan that's just built up a little bit. The car weighs like 1,900 pounds. You don't need much power to get around. It actually goes like stink. And so we did the Metropolitan M. That's the logo for the M and the word Metropolitan on it. And we pinstriped it too, so it's got some red pinstripes on there. And it's just a subtle, nice, tasty little thing. I like doing some of that kind of stuff. It's not real gaudy. It's not too crazy. I mean, I'll go crazy too, but once in a while, it's just nice to do something a little tasty like that, just to set it off, because it makes that Chevy V6 look like it belongs in there.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, it was so subtle. It was so like you said, tasty, and man, it was just really cool. Just man, Ken. I hate to gloat on Ken, but Ken's fucking an awesome artist, man, and that's just all there is to it, And
yeah, he's really good at what he does.
He should like draw and paint and like design things for a career or something. That's what he should really do.
I thought about it. What are the hours? What are the hours?
I don't know. I heard they're kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But as you can see, like I said, we did a Back to the 50s webpage, and we got some videos down there if you guys want to go see them. Yeah, there's videos there, so check them out. They're kind of in succession, and there's also a playlist down there if you just want to get to them all the way. But yeah, we had some fun, man. So the check-in day was pretty awesome, and so like I said, we took videos of almost kind of every kind of highlight thing that we were doing, except for the great content that we could have got, like being broke down and
that's the shit that you want to get. Yeah.
And when Ken picked me up at the hotel in his town car.
Tell him about that. That was funny.
So like I said, I don't have any problem talking to anybody. And
this was Friday night, right?
This was Friday night. Yeah,
Friday night. We decided it was going to be rainy and crappy out, and I said, well, he wanted to go to a supper club in Wisconsin. I'm like, there's a good one next town over. We can have a fish fry. Let's go. I'll come get you in the air at the hotel, which is like 2 miles from my house. So instead of taking the old ship box, I took my Lincoln. I got a black '97 Lincoln Town Car. It's a mob car. So go ahead, Bruce.
You got a mob car. Anyway, so this older lady is sitting outside, and she was waiting for somebody to pick her up also. And I just struck up a conversation with her, told her I was going to the car show, and she was here for a wedding and blah, blah, blah. And Ken pulls up in the town car, leaps out of the town car and says, is this Mr. McGee? Mr. McGee's car? Did you order a car? And I'm all like, yeah, I did order a car, and I hope you got I hope you got that note that I needed some, Skittles with the warm Perrier water. So did you get that? And by the way, could you get my door for me? and this lady's looking like this, like I was some sort of celebrity or something like that. So.
I rolled it almost into the hotel. I mean, I rolled it right up to the door.
So Ken pulls around. He opens up he goes the back door or the front door. And I'm like, I'll take the front seat. And I turn around and I look at the lady and I'm going like, hey, I'm here Friday through Sunday, 2 shows, 8 to 10, 2 drink minimum. I'll see you later. And she still was looking out like this.
Like, who are you? It would have been even better if you had like a fucking like a stretch something, anything stretched, and that would have been even
this Lincoln Town Car looks like
it's a professional car.
Yeah, no, I know that. I'm just saying.
Joe Pesci. Yeah. I should have did my best Joe Pesci is what I should have done.
That's true. That's true.
But I didn't think about that. But that's the only thing I could do off the cuff. But it was really good.
Well, the next morning she saw you then.
No, I did not see her the rest of. Oh, excuse me. Yes, I did. I did see her at breakfast time, and she's. Yeah, I don't really remember the conversation, but I do remember seeing her because it was crowded the next day.
Well, she said something to the effect of, "Oh, here's this famous guy here."
Oh yeah, something like that.
Celebrity,
really?
I remember hearing something like that, but
that's hilarious.
It was hilarious, but yeah, Ken came in that. Was that the day you came in and had breakfast with me or what? I don't know. I missed breakfast.
Yeah,
Friday the one day. I don't know. It was cool. Continental breakfast. Get up early in the morning to go get continental breakfast because fucking by the time
was it a real continental breakfast or was it fucking bagels and cereal?
It was they had a whole freaking layout, dude. So they had the whatever, the bag eggs, right? They got the freaking big institutional eggs. I'm used to those.
Yeah, corporate eggs.
Yeah, they just get poured out of a container.
And the million sausages, but they had a waffle maker and freaking they had bagels and freaking English muffins and the coffee. I had to continually tell the guy, we're out of coffee, dude. Fuck you. They had 4 things of coffee that they were out.
You were drinking all the coffee.
I guess. I don't know. It wasn't me. I've only had 2 cups of coffee since I was there, but it was all right. Hotel. I mean, for a hotel.
Right. Well, so then we took you to the Parkside, supper club over in Roberts Club, and we ate a feast of dinner of all you can eat fish fry. And I had the fish and shrimp, and then I had there's all you can eat salad bar and soup bar too. But you never go up for the seconds or order seconds because you get so much in the first, you never need to go up.
Dude, they gave me these 3 freaking pieces of fish. I swear to God, I shit you not, dude, that they were at least 12 to 14 inches long.
What kind?
Plate. Huh?
Was it catfish or what was it?
It was cod. It was cod.
Oh, cod. Okay. Because around here in Indiana, when you go like a fish fry, usually it's catfish, but like there's some restaurants around here, whatever, you're like, oh yeah, let me get a whole catfish, and it's a whole catfish with the head chopped off and it's skinned all the way except for like that much on the fins, on the rear fin, and then it's just deep fried as a whole. And so like you're picking it off the fucking ribs and shit like that. Yeah, it's good. So that's why when you're like, oh, this big fish, I'm like, was it a whole fucking fillet or like a whole catfish?
And they gave me like 7 different kinds of potatoes that I could get. So I got the au gratin potatoes. So they bring this freaking huge freaking bowl. I mean, this bowl is as big as my freaking head of these au gratin potatoes. And I'm telling you, there was more cheese in these potatoes than there was.
Yeah, you're up there. Yeah,
done right up here. And then I said you got to have an old fashioned. You have to have a brandy old fashioned.
And I had an old fashioned, and that was.
And so at the end of the night, we got the bill. How much was your bill?
Like $7.
What?
$21.
Yeah. $21.
You can't get that meal here in California.
You can't
at
get
McDonald's
for 20.
Crazy,
yeah. Man. Well, see, that's the thing too, is that you got the all you can eat or whatever, but they bring you such a big fucking bowl and plate the first time. You're like, fuck, that's all I can eat.
Exactly. That's all I can eat.
So then they know you're not going to eat a ton. You're just going to eat that one right there.
Exactly. That's how they get you.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly how they get you.
So also Ken did some pinstriping. I don't have any pictures of the pinstriping. I think Jason did have some pictures. I
had a video of him pinstriping.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't download those pictures, but that was pretty idiot of me.
You're fucking up, Bruce.
Ken actually did some. Yeah, I know. I'm a terrible host. Maybe somebody else should take over this freaking podcast.
Let's see.
Jason has all the fucking pictures and videos and shit.
He learned passive aggressive when he was out here.
Well, he's got. There we go.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
So that's what it was an old metal chair that they had.
Yeah, that's about the time we got lost, like I said. But yeah, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool seeing Ken in action, doing his pinstriping. You know, he's the actual freaking Rembrandt. You know, sitting there.
And as I was doing the video, he's flipping me off the entire time for the way that he's holding his brush.
Because you got to do a little bit of this, you know.
Oh yeah,
gotcha. Like
got to do the freaking.
You got to lay the line. Right, like
gotta
that.
Do the pinky thing. Gotta do the pinky thing, man.
Yeah, because it has to flow along, man, and you got to use this finger as the guide. So,
yeah,
it's the way we roll. But there
was all kinds of cars out there, dude. So this is another one of my favorite ones that I liked, and this was a produce truck.
Yeah, that was cool. That was a cool ride.
Yeah. It looks like a brand new one or two. Yeah.
And everybody knows who Cargill is in Minnesota, right, Jason?
Oh yeah.
Fuck, dude, that's all there is around here, pretty much.
And then we had some old Novas, some really rare Novas. This is a 1964 Nova Air, and I was actually taking pictures of Novas to send them to my buddy Frank, and Frank is a Nova guy who has a Nova that's kind of like my truck, just sits around and waits for us to love it.
Yeah. It's waiting for the money toss.
It's waiting for the money toss.
Yeah.
Well, Bruce, sell your house and move out to the Midwest. You'll have more than enough money to.
Yeah, you can get like a 10-acre lot, and you can build a huge pole barn with a heated concrete floor, and you can have all your fucking shit in there, and you can do whatever you want. You can have a paint booth so Ken can come over.
I'm still trying to swallow the $25,000 down payment I have to do to drop off my car in Minnesota to have it painted.
You sell your house for $9 whatever, right? And then you buy a house for like $3 out here, $4, maybe you $500,000 left over, $25,000. Oh, that's not sneeze, and you drop it on accident.
That's right.
Come on, we figured it out. It's not that difficult.
And then they had this cool ass, freaking blown ass Chevy 57 freaking Bel Air.
That's a 55, so cool. But
55, whatever. 55.
Who's
whatever.
Counting?
Yeah.
Who's counting? Who's counting when you're that old? I stopped counting when I was 55.
Exactly.
That's hard.
That was in the 50s.
But Ken was telling us how to shoot this car, so we shot this car, and I think I got it right. So I'm not sure what Jason got, but this is what it looks like.
Ooh,
you got your whole finger in. That's nice.
I almost put my whole finger in there. That's what she said, but I mean,
yeah, that's what she said. Unfortunately.
Yeah. So that's something called fender well headers. So if you see the exhaust pipes, instead of going down under the engine, they go out into the fender wells and down and under. That was a big drag racing thing.
Yeah, it looks like the one on the left, it like curves.
Yeah,
they do. It's like spaghetti. They curve around because they got to go around the frame and clear the tires and all that and the suspension.
Oh, that's crazy.
And it comes out and it just dumps right behind the front.
If you're lucky, your car builder got them done so that you can actually pull them out without having to remove the engine. Unlike my truck, where I have to actually pull my engine to get the headers off. It really sucks. I found that. Don't just ask me why, because
pull the engine. Damn, that's a pain in the ass to pull the engine.
It is, man. So
not uncommon, but pulling that engine's not a problem. You have,
you have
two motor mounts and a Christmas tree. It pops up. I could have those headers out in 20 minutes.
Yeah. In fact, I have more room in my front end of my Chevy truck than this guy has in his 55 Chevy. But I don't have
that thing was a beast.
I don't have the open stuff in there. But another one that we saw was actually this Bel Air here.
This is cool.
That's
towing.
Cool. This was the coolest freaking custom that I saw. It was absolutely incredible to see a trailer made out of the same. I don't know if it was it the same make and model. I'm pretty sure
it's exactly the same car. It's this is a 56, just so you know.
Yeah, a 50. Yeah, okay.
I like how they did the paint with it though, because the half of the front half of the car is a darker color, and then it goes light, and that's the same color of light into the thing, which that's pretty cool. Because around here, what they'll do is they'll actually take, they'll cut off the bed on a truck and turn that into a trailer and trailer it around, because it's not legally a trailer. And so then they don't have to have all the plates and the regulation and shit on it. And so you'll just see somebody just towing the back of a truck, the bed of a truck.
Yeah, just cut the ass on the frame, weld a tri-piece on there with a trailer hitch on it, and you can pull it around. It's not a trailer.
Done deal. Yeah, it's not a trailer.
Yeah. It was awesome, man. Just seeing some of the crazy customs that they had there, man, was just incredible, man. And
you two jokers are giving me crap trying to meet up with me their first time on Saturday. I'm like, okay, where are you guys?
Tell the story, Jason.
So I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I was getting the text. I was like, how are they lost from each other? I thought they went together.
So I'm like, okay, where are you guys? And Bruce calls me. He's like, yeah, we're out to breakfast. Do you want something? And I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Okay, guys, I'm waiting here. You said we're gonna meet up here at this time, and you guys are out to breakfast. Really?
Just all the eggs and bacon you can get.
Really? What do you mean, dude? I mean, we're here. We're ready to load up and bring you whatever you want, man. Just tell us what you want, dude. We're sitting
and I'm
here,
like, okay, guys.
Well, how far are you out? I'm going like, well, we need to know what you need for breakfast. And I could just see Jason just getting pissed.
I'm getting aggravated. I'm getting mad. And then, so I finally found out that Bruce is messing with me, and they're almost there. I'm like, oh my God, dude, I'm gonna smash your head in.
And then we gave him shit about where he was. So I mean,
yeah, that's right. Well, he kept moving. He goes, I'm like, where are you? Well, I'm at this building and stuff. And we get a little bit closer. There's a lot of traffic getting in there. Imagine 100,000 people. And we're moving in there. And then I'm like, okay, we can meet you there. And he's like, where? I'm like, so where are you now? He's like, well, I'm here now. And I'm like, what's total different? It's like another half. We're chasing around. We just drove around until we found. And then we finally found the bar. I'm like, he's at O'Gara's garage. I'm like, that's the bar. We know where it is. Stay there. Have a beer.
Yeah. Figure we find him at a bar.
Crazy.
But the O'Gara's, they didn't have any gluten-free beers, so I didn't get anything at all. So I just kind of stood
What'd you drink? What'd you drink? Tell everybody what you drink.
Nope.
Tell everybody what you drink, soy boy. I'm going to tell them.
He drank water.
Oh, I had a White Claw.
Oh, there you go.
Because it was gluten-free. It was the only gluten-free adult beverage they had.
Because he's gay like that.
So I had a White Claw. And immediately after drinking it,
we walked away. We walked away from him. We left him alone.
Yeah,
well, he made a pass at that one guy. We thought we were gonna get a fight.
Yeah, he's making time with one guy. Yeah.
I felt like becoming a pinup girl after drinking the White Claw.
There you go.
You were already.
There was pinup girls there too.
Oh, there's always pinup girls, and they were quite cute. Yeah. Quite cute, man. So a lot of them were, and there were some adorable ones. There was what's his name? Ron Hinshaw's wife and his daughter.
Yeah, they were
totally adorable. They did the whole thing up, man. It was so freaking cool. And Ron Hinshaw, man, I've got a interview with him that's in the website. So go down and see him. We also got one of Bo Vecchio, right?
Yep, Bo Vecchio.
Right, Bo Vecchio. He's another classic car builder. And,
probably the top two in the state. I mean, those were the top two guys in the state. There's one more that we talked to briefly. We didn't have a chance to. He didn't have a shop there or anything. Is Ron? Yeah, but these guys are. These were the top guys in the state.
It was really special kind of trip for me, man. Because, like I said, I was enamored, number one, by just seriously the beauty of where you guys live. I mean, you know, Wisconsin, Minnesota. When I came out of the clouds coming down in there, man, and I saw how lush it was. It was like when I came out of the clouds when I was coming into Hawaii and seeing just how lush everything was, because you guys like live in a tropical rainforest. That
like you said, there's no brown. You said that to me.
There's no brown. Well, like in California, you have brown because it doesn't. You're in the desert. It doesn't rain from March until freaking October. Right. Yeah, so
and also because people are taking a dump in the street. That's why you have brown in California.
They take dump in the street. We got the brown. Right. We got the brown water, so that's why you get brown plants. You get brown water.
Yeah, around here we actually have plants. There's actually around here.
Yeah. Let me show you my jungle out in the backyard. There's no ground in my backyard.
Yeah, but that's it though. We live in a barren. We don't live in a barren wasteland with just like little specks of green. It's all green out here.
Sparse tufts of foliage.
Yeah, exactly.
You'd love it out here, Arcos.
No,
just ignore the people and the government, and you would love it out here.
I would love it out there, Bruce.
I have a hard time ignoring the people and the government here in Indiana. What the fuck? How am I going to do it out there?
I have the same problem.
It's the burning capital behind you. It's the burning capital.
Exactly. This is what happened the other day, and it happens every day.
Well, we passed by one of Ken's favorite cars because he loves this car. This is the
yes,
the
Electra 225 59.
Anybody ever seen the movie Christine knows all about this car.
Except it's not the car in Christine. That was
it's not
that was 57 Fury.
But this is an electric car.
Yep,
it's an electric car. But that thing was slammed down to the ground, baby. It was freaking cool.
Yeah, those are really neat. I mean, that's when people had some balls. Look at the design of that. It just looks like I'm going to kill your children and I'm going to eat them and I'm going to shit them out and wipe on your grandmother's face. That's what the front of that car says.
And that was one of the comments that I told Ken, man. We were walking around and we're looking at the curves and the lines and everything and Ken pretty much explained it to me about the lines and the curves and the cutouts and everything about the cars and how they're shaped. It's just like, you wonder why they don't do that today or even bring back that stuff, because when we went to this little museum piece, right? And this little museum piece that they had actually had this little pin thing that they used around the car to actually they would clay the car out, and to make the tooling they'd have to put these little pins in this little frame around.
They had a gantry. So what it was is they made a scale crazy. Like 1/8 scale model of the car, 1/6 scale, and there was a gantry that went around with holes that were perfectly cut into the gantry that they put pins through, and then they could measure those pins and then they move the gantry back an inch, put the pins in to touch, and then they could plot it all the way through and make blueprints, and then they'd make the bucks for that, and they'd hand form the metal around that, and then they'd make the production stampings from those hand formed metal pieces.
But some of the style that you got now, because every car now just looks like a sausage, right? It just looks like that.
It's because all of what Ken just said, that's a lot of labor, a lot of time. Like, that's a lot of material, different stuff that you don't need if you just literally just stamp out squares all day.
But it was style, man.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, that's why they do it now. They go for efficiency.
When you bought a car like that, it meant that you had style, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. Bruce, you understood. Shut your pie hole for a minute. You understood the whole thing of when I said Ken is like the Rain Man of cars. You got that, didn't you?
He is the Rain Man of cars. Yeah, he can drive very well. I drive really well. Yes.
Yeah, definitely drive. Definitely go back to 50s. Definitely fairgrounds. Definitely corn dogs.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the corn dogs, man. Yeah, we did a corn dog video.
A foot longer.
I've never seen a foot long corn dog, but I did a special video. Oh, and it was fucking huge, dude. It was. Yep.
Did you get the whole thing in, or did you just only?
I got the whole thing in, dude.
Yeah, there you go.
It went down in one bite.
Coney
Island style.
It comes on a javelin. I mean, it's this freaking stick that comes on. Is like,
it's like a tree limb.
I got a hole through my neck because I tried to, whatever.
Yeah.
But I made a Coney Island style. I made a video for my wife. You can see that on the back of the 50's webpage too if you go there. But it was really fun, man. And just for you rat rod guys, they had rat rods out there too. So
that was a cool one.
Doesn't know what a rat rod is. It's just like they take these cars and just try to make them look as eclectic and unique as you can. Most of them are like T-buckets and stuff like that, but there was obviously other types of cars out there.
This one. Can I jump in on this one? I don't want to cut you off.
Jump in on that one.
So this one here was really, really cool because it's a Dodge sedan that they started with and it's chopped it down, shrunk it up, did all this stuff. It's got an old Ramrod Hemi in it from, I think, a DeSoto. I think it's a DeSoto Hemi. But there's a lot of guys doing this where they're taking cars that are unrestorable because they're just rotting out and stuff, but take all the really cool parts, the fins and all the crazy pieces and parts and all that, and they're narrowing them down and making these little rat rod cars out of them. And I think that's cool as hell. I mean, it just shows kind of like Ed Roth and the old 60s show car, kind of crazy, anything goes. And I don't know if you got a picture of the inside of this one because the dashboard is a piece of artwork in this car. You just put a bunch of different stuff together. But and it's it's fast too. I mean, these are not slow cars. This thing will boogie out. I mean, that's probably 250 horsepower Hemi in there. It's not a super, but they don't weigh anything. It's
that's what you're gonna say. Like, it's just a frame with 2 seats and wheels.
Right. But they're really cool, and I love the creativity and stuff that goes into these things because parts of it are designed to look like a ratty old car, but there was so much. I mean, look at those headers. Those are handmade headers on there. And they just let them rust, and that's the idea. You want them to be rusty and stuff like that. But the frame's gorgeously painted, and the drop axle in front. And it's got good disc brakes on it. It's a safe, good drivable. It's a good, solid drivable car. And they're just I've built them like that too, and they're just so much fun to drive around.
Yeah, the thing is that there were so many. There was such a cornucopia of cars. None of them over 1964, and that was cool.
Yep.
All the way back to,
which is interesting because you think it would be none of them over 1959.
Well, the reason for it, there was a reason for it. I thought the same thing, and the reason for it is MSRA started this. The first one, this was the 50th anniversary. They missed a year because of COVID, and Governor Walz, a jackass. So in 1973, the movie American Graffiti came out, and one of the guys that was like had a birthday or an anniversary or something like that. And this is when all these guys were a lot younger, but they were that age of, most of the MSRA that started this was that age of coming in age in the early 60s. So the back to the 50s, the car guys figure the 50s really ended about 63, 64 is when, because that's when the cars really made. In 65, the cars made a huge change on all about it to be a lot more modern.
The Mustang, the Corvette, the Camaro started coming out not soon after that.
Yep, 67 Camaro, and 64 you had the GTO and muscle cars started coming in. So the 50s era of the big boats and the big, the 50s cars and street rods and hot rods ended, right at that era. So they all got together and said, hey, let's do a back to the 50s run to go watch American Graffiti. So they all did. Then they parked. I guess it was like 200 cars that went to American Graffiti at the theater, and they said, "Hey, let's do this every year. We'll call it a thing." So it just started growing and growing and growing. When I first went in 1992, there was like 4,000 cars at the show, and I was like, "What did I just walk into? This is unbelievable." It's a third the size of what it would be. On a nice sunny weekend, it would have been 12,000, 13,000 cars.
It was just unbelievable to be there. And yeah, exactly. I want to thank you guys both, for being so cordial to me as I was up there. You guys could have been like, who the fuck is this guy? Actually, because you always like hear.
You never know.
Be careful who you meet. Be careful if you want to meet your heroes. You just don't know.
What if he's a dick? I mean, there was the first time I met Jason was about a year or two ago. Jason, I came over your house.
About a year or two ago. Yeah.
And it was just one of those things you never know you're going to walk into. And, a year you're like, some fucking guy from the Nomad Network's coming over to my house. He's that guy that never shuts up, that always, but it was great. I mean, we sat down there that first day I figured I'd be there for 10 minutes. I think we were there bullshitting for 2.5 hours, just having a great time. I met your kids and your wife, and it was fun,
Yeah.
We get Harkos up.
Yeah, my kids love showing you the artwork they were doing. Bruce, shut up. My kids love showing you the artwork they were doing, and they were just to have you critique it. They were just beside themselves.
That was fun. So they kept running out. They kept coming out of the room and bringing back. Hey, what about this one? Hey, what about this? Yeah. I love that. I love that.
That's pretty
cool.
Well,
of course, Jason didn't say anything because he really has nothing to say.
I think I have a theory on why the car era ends at 64. Because in 1965 is when we entered Vietnam. And it was a draft that took away half of the fucking, the muscle car age men, you know what I'm saying? And then like all the industry around it probably shifted to wartime shit, and it probably cut that fucking shit. Because if you think about it, like the Roaring 20s were cut not just because of the Depression, but mainly because of the war starting.
The car scene didn't end. The 50s car scene ended.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
But the car scene actually grew and grew and grew through the end of the 60s and got just enormous because there was this whole cult of car guys now that some of them had gone to war and come back. Some of them were just getting out. But, in 68, when the Roadrunner came out, it was designed to be a low-end car for someone that graduated from high school. You go to a Dodge dealership and buy a brand new muscle car. It was $2,800.
Right.
And any kid that had any just regular job could afford that. That's a $80 a month payment or something like that. And you could buy a 383 Magnum, 330 horsepower, 14-second and a quarter mile.
Unbelievable stuff.
Drum brakes all the way around, 4-speed.
The pistol grip, freaking stick
bug
shift,
juice green, stripes and shit all over it. And just go out to the street and go street racing. And all these guys did it. So it was a shift in car culture from the 50s style to the muscle car.
What do you think it caused it then? I mean, because like you said it ended in 64, and I'm like, that's right around when the Vietnam started.
Yeah.
Well,
that was actually short-lived, and it was actually short-lived because it wasn't too long. I mean, it only lasted till really like
73. It was over in 73.
73. It was over. Yeah. I mean, they
what killed it? So what killed it was two things. One, the insurance companies, because like I said, you could be a 17-year-old kid, get out of high school, 18, buy a 4-speed, car that'll go 140 miles an hour with drum brakes and doesn't handle worth a shit on crappy tires. And a lot of them did exactly what you think would be what any one of us do. The drinking age was 18. You had the war going on. People were rebelling like crazy. So these cars turned into be big liabilities. Yeah. And then the gas crunch hit.
Oil embargo
73 really messed everything up. Plus, at the same time, California had started fucking this shit up in the 50s with the PCV valve.
Carb was invented. Yeah.
Carb was invented, and they started doing things. And then the government started taking on. And Nixon was like, "Yeah, we should let's make this EPA thing happen, and they can tell the car manufacturers what to do." And so instead of saying, "Hey, you need to make your engines more efficient," they said, "You need to put this choke catalytic converter thing on your car."
Right.
Which sucked. The technology wasn't there yet. They couldn't do fuel injection. They tried. I mean, they had fuel injection in 1957, and all through the 60s, people tried fuel injection. But it was all of these things together outside of the car industry that ruined it, and that's what killed it. And all the way up to the Malays area, and then the Japanese came through with because they could build their cars without needing all this emissions stuff that would pass the emissions test.
And then the Supra was born.
And then
with the 2JZ, with the 2JZ in that.
Exactly.
Fucking twin turbo V8, rocking the fuck out of some shit and only weighing like 25 pounds. Fuck yeah.
Right. It was a straight 6.
Whatever.
We had a 1JZ. We had 2 Toyota Cressidas, and they had that. Anyway, but that's kind of what happens in the car world.
Wasn't a V?
No.
It was a straight
2JZ was a straight 6, dual overhead cam, fuel injected, straight 6, twin turbo.
Oh.
Bruh.
I know it was twin turbo, but yeah. Anyway.
Well, here's the new webpage if you want to check it out, www.weathersoul.com/back to the 50s. Check it out. It's got all there. We got a gallery there that has a gallery there to show you all the pictures that I took, and I'll be putting more because Jason has sent me a whole bunch more pics, and I got to get in there and put those on. But we've got all the videos of everything that we've done there, some interviews with the car builders, and then we have a playlist that you can go and just hit play, and you can see them all at once. And then also we have right here our weather report sign up sheet for the newsletter. Just sent out a newsletter today. It's pretty much what I do with gardening and stuff like that, but it has nothing to really do with hot riding or anything. It just has to do with the content of what I put on Weathered Soul. But I wanted to make a special website for this, and I want to thank Chris, man. basically me and Chris kind of collaborated on this.
Nice
He
work.
did a lot of the work. He kind of just coached me through all of it. He did a lot of the placement, told me, this wasn't working and that wasn't working. So either he fixed it or I fixed it, one of the two. But it was pretty cool working with Chris. Like I said, I work with Chris a lot, with jacking up my website.
Yeah, but it's pretty easy. I mean, like I don't know. Like I know how to use, like, Wix is very easy to use for one.
Yeah.
And I know how to use it well, so I can whip up something in like no time. I'm gonna sit there just okay, your website's done. And people are like, holy shit. And I'm like, well, did you I don't even use templates or nothing. I just know what to put where and get it going, and fuck, god damn fucking fireworks.
There you go.
Anyway.
If you want to get the poop on the scoop of what's going on in the news every morning, you got to go to the Weathered View, because we're live on X every morning from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, or on your favorite podcast app. And that's when we get together and we talk shit. So we talk crap about what's going on the weekend, what's going on with politics and stuff like that. It's more of our lampoon side. We get a little bit more candid than we do out here.
This is what's going on. If you guys can see, this is what's going on in politics. Is
exactly.
The roof is on fire. We don't need
go
the
grab
water.
Chris at freedom.com. Go to MMC Pod to go check out Chris's stuff. He's also got Apex Music System that he's got going on. That's his main squeeze right now, right?
Yep.
Apex
Music System. That's where I handle all the business. Music Makes Sense podcast is just like the podcast where we talk about all different kinds of music marketing stuff. Yep.
Right, and then the red man down there in the lower right hand corner, he's the proprietor of horribledesigns.com. If you like funky stuff that will make you laugh and make you cringe and make you cry, you got to go to horribledesigns.com, because that's what he does. And the big Mad K Ken right there, Mad K Studios. He is the man behind the paintbrush, man. And he is the guy. Exactly. He is the guy, man. So
before we go, I want to mention that we, if you guys, I don't know if you saw, but if you've been watching this, we did a little bit of a commentary on the presidential debate the other night. And we're going to be glad in 50 years from now when we look back that we actually did that night. So if you haven't seen it and you want to see some really interesting commentary on it, go back and watch that. And it's on the page, so you'll be able to see it.
Yeah, that's on our. Go ahead.
I think what we should do next time is we should actually pause it when people speak. I think that would be good, because then we could, it would be twice as long, but then we would get to hear everything, because there's a lot of stuff that we missed.
You're on for 3 hours, brother.
It's not that much, but I'm just saying, like, I'm gonna fucking get my gun and start shooting.
It went well into the wee hours of the morning for you.
Yes.
Yeah, it went into tomorrow for me.
Yeah, we almost went to tomorrow for kind of 9.
Yeah.
It was 9:45 when I got off, so it was still
because you're behind.
It was 90 night time for me already.
Yeah. No, I was just saying that just because, like, for people, like, when you're paying attention to it and you're trying to catch all the lies and the hypocrisy and all the dumb shit, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes whenever you react, even if it's with laughing, you'll laugh over like the punch.
But don't watch us if you're going to go there for content. You're going to watch us because you want to be entertained about it. You're not going to miss any. There was nothing that we missed because there was no substance spoken the whole time.
Yeah.
It was mostly just, and then someone looking at the guy going, I don't even have to do anything here.
Well, we're going to leave you now to go on with your week. Thank you guys for being here, and we're going to let Ken rest because the man is sick. He needs to get that he needs to get all that bacteria out of his system. Like I said, dude, what you need to do is you need a shot of whiskey, a shot of NyQuil, and then get a tampon to wipe those soy boy tears out of your eyes.
I'm not even drinking tonight, guys. Look at I didn't even put anything else in it.
Cranberry
You're
juice?
by.
It's Pride month, so I'm drinking.
You're by? Okay,
yeah.
Got you. You're
See,
by.
look at it.
Yeah, he's putting by in his mouth. Okay.
Look at what those are. Twig and berries.
You're a
Twig and berries. Twig and berries. You're by. Right, it's ATF Pride month.
So until next week, I'm Bruce, aka the Weathered Soul. We got Chris Harkos over there, Mr. Mad K Ken, and Jason from Horrible Designs. We'll see you next week. We thank you for being at the show, and thank you for watching. We'll see you later.
Mm-hmm.